us and turned me into such. All you granted me was lust. And what I seemed to have grown was rust. Are you displeased? Are you angry? My might and my angels' wings have been bruised and restrained. Those who break to blood are so fumes in vain. So believe in me and collect. I'm your leader today. Rise! So scream for me, little
Okay, now we're live.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back,
Goodbye.
everyone. You are okay. So long.
Nothing we can,
I'll
nothing
go
we
ahead
can
and end the
do.
stream. Later,
All right,
everybody.
session over.
Alright.
Oh, he left.
I was gonna say we can continue. I was gonna say we can continue on without Lessla, considering they're the one that said bye. But
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back, everyone, to our next session of Here Be Dragons. Who will be
Huh.
giving our recap tonight?
Go for it.
Alright, so one of the things, like, a lot happened, but not much happened. And we basically started, all getting ready to leave, all packing up, all making the journey. There's a few conversations I had.
that was it.
Yeah, okay. I'll go a bit more detail, of course, but you know what I mean. So Lessla, being who she is, immediately goes and investigates Sapphire's bow, fiddles with it for a little bit, and Sapphire reluctantly asks Lessla for help with magic. The fact that some of the components being made of jade is brought up again, meaning some character influence in her spellcasting. Next, Sapphire asks about Corvus's cat, which is, it doesn't go that well, but it does end up with Sapphire realizing that the cat definitely is
Something.
much more intelligent than the cat should be, and the cat seems to love the fact that Sapphire is very confused. Cheese and Lessla talk to Colonel Chestnut, where he regales him with stories of the wars that he's in, battles. After a bit, Lessla has Laura and Cindris swing sticks around. Laura is presented as not being very good at throwing one, which is apparently something that doesn't make sense to Lessla. Then we go on to a conversation, I imagine in the evening. Cheese talks to Lessla about what she thinks of the gods. Lesla's like, ones of law, cool. Ones of chaos, not so much. And she's asked about Lune specifically. Lessla gives a sort of mixed response, neither positive nor negative. Cheese mentions that about the not the Teos Lune, the drop, the moon drop, whatever it is.
The essence of Seluna. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. Moon juice. It ends in she's getting so worked up she asks for a hug, which Lessla awkwardly accepts and doesn't know how to deal with. So when Cheese leaves, Lessla hurries on up to Sapphire. Is like, "Yo, peasant, hug's common." And Sapphire's like, "Yeah, I mean, I get hugged a lot." She's like, "Bet, so that means it's not important." And like, "No, it kind of is, depending on how it is with people you are." I went, "Oh, family hugs." It's like, family don't hug because hugging is weird, and affection and emotions are icky. It's like, oh, they're pretty common, and I feel bad that you don't understand this. Lessla got a little annoyed, started to walk off. Sapphire went, if you want practice hugging, Lessla nearly killed him, but instead just closed the book. He did not interpret this well and thought, oh fuck, I've done something wrong. Went to bother Lara. Lara was reading, but quickly stopped reading. Put the book away, and Cheese noticed and went, what book were you reading? It's not important. And then she shoves Lara into a tent, follows in after, and closes the flaps. Relax. Just wanted to talk about what pretty is. Then ended up finding out that there's this reading books by a certain author I cannot remember the name of. Apparently are adult themed. Lara refuses to let Cheese borrow one because she's embarrassed and asks Cheese to leave quite abruptly. Cheese gets a little frustrated, bolts Lara, leaves, goes over to Corvus. The two have a small conversation where both say that they find each other attractive. Then they decide to go for a walk. Corvus asked about. Oh, sorry. For that, Corvus asks about the relationship between Lessla and Cheese, and basically tries to bury the point that if they're going to be in a relationship, they have to both be considered equals in it. Eventually, Cheese wants to change the subject, so Corvus decides to go for a walk and with Cheese and ask about learning magic. Happy to comply, and Corvus is actually able to connect a little bit to nature and form a small flower in his hand. Cheese's delight. Then the two decide to go off. Corvus to get forward, and Cheese back to the camp. Now, if the session had ended there, it would have been a pretty good session. It was a pretty great session.
More.
It's a pretty great session. Aaron, would you like to reveal what happened after that point that made the session amazing?
So, Cheese was really curious about Lara's books. So, in order to try and get her grubby little mitts on one, she wild shaped into a raccoon to try and get into her tent. She failed miserably, and a shoe. It was a shoe that was thrown in her face and turned her back into a normal person, or as normal as Cheese can get. Cheese failed at yoinking one of the books, and then it was explained to her that these were smut books, and Cheese, not understanding the appeal, just goes, "Well, that's boring!" And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know what you should have done? You should have turned into a dire raccoon. You would have had at least 2 shoes worth of health.
I don't know. Cheese probably hasn't seen a dire raccoon before.
Probably not.
Also, if I start randomly laughing at some point, it's because I'm watching my cat play around in the plastic that wraps around my canvas to keep it protected. She's very dumb.
Oh
But
God!
yeah.
Don't, Harume, stop making me feel old.
How the fuck do you think I feel?
She
What?
is older than you.
Only by like a year or 2.
Pointless dance.
Stop being old.
Haha, get
Rupert?
fucked.
I would love to.
You know, all you have
I
to
miss
do,
that
just
having
identify as a
responsibility.
teenager.
Alright.
Anyway.
Don't. You invited us here. You don't get to decide.
All I can say
Anyway.
is get bent, nerds.
I'm gonna go ahead and move everyone.
I still
over
have the
to-
ligaments in my
You're
knees,
almost
bitches.
20. You're almost 20. You're already.
Hey, I have my ligaments still. That's why I'm able to actually do squats.
I'm proud of you. I'm not, actually. Powerlifting
It's
skill.
been a while since we've seen this map.
Hey!
This is actually a new variant.
Yeah, this is new.
It's been a while since we've seen this map.
Oh, Waterdeep. Oh.
I like how undetailed it actually is.
It simplifies
Yeah.
it. Great.
This is incredibly detailed. The
Oh, yeah.
original map doesn't have a pin for the Adventurers Guild or Guild and Glamour.
Oh yeah? Well, read the legend.
No.
No.
I got it. Where's the legend?
At the very bottom, it's illegible.
Blue. Different shade of blue. Deeper blue. Sandy color.
Are we gonna actually get into role playing, or are we just gonna sit here?
Yes,
Okay, one.
I'd like to
D&D
try.
D&D is mostly just shitting on everything. You can't enjoy the badness of everything you don't deserve to play.
Shadow, we love you.
I'm not
Shadow.
saying Shadow.
Sometimes I doubt that.
Shadow, I love you.
Shadow, I hate you.
That doesn't surprise me.
Shadow, I love you. If you were here, I would kiss you right on the mouth.
Please
Big ol'
do
speech.
not.
Alright,
Anyway.
time to get Rupert to take it to Florida and see what happens.
Hate all of you.
Poor Shadow.
Anyway,
Hey, I'm quiet now.
after some more travel, and a lot of Lara avoiding everybody for a few days, You all arrive back in the city of Waterdeep, although for certain individuals, this is their first time seeing it. Those individuals being Lara and Lyari.
This place
Zarfaya?
smells just as terrible as it did
Didn't-
before.
Oh no, right. That's right. We met Zarfaya here.
Oh, you're right. We
Mhm.
did meet
Yeah.
Zarfaya here.
Yep.
I completely forgot about that because her character is completely different than what it was when we first met her.
We've just
I
learned.
mean, she's just started talking to you a little bit more. That's about it.
Completely different.
It is completely different, Shadow.
This place smells just as terrible as it did before.
You don't get used to it.
Which gate do we enter?
The north one,
Uh,
probably?
It will be. Give me a moment.
It's the south gate. It will smell.
Works many
The
windows.
north gate.
I
Oh.
believe it was. Yeah, I believe last time it was the trade wards you left out of.
Okay.
Okay,
the-
so
I
we're
don't
not
know if
getting
they-
hit with the smell of fish immediately.
Yeah.
We're getting hit with. Well, it might be some fish, but it's a mixture.
We're
Yeah.
getting hit with the smell of
We're-
pork.
We're getting hit with the smell of dried fish and horse.
Trying to remember what the trade ward is. Fucking. No while since I've read that.
Right here.
No, I said not where. I said what.
Oh, it's just
I-
where the most of the trade goes on.
I imagine it's the commercial district.
Largely, yes, not entirely. There is some that goes on in the castle ward, but that's more high-end stuff.
Yeah. North is really fancy shit. South is.
Let me
kind
put it
of
this way: this is the trade district. This is where like all the traveling merchants go to.
Yeah. You want to know
This
what's
is
not-
where all the boats go to. This is the
And
poor
so-
district.
That's the poor
This is the
district.
poor district.
Poor
Hey,
district.
Shadow, you know what I don't see on this map? The smithy.
Yeah,
Did
he's
it,
somewhere
but
down
no.
in here.
Oh, yeah.
As
That's
soon
the
as we
dead.
right back, Lessla will say is, oh, now that we've arrived back in Waterdeep, I suggest that we take this time to prepare ourselves for our next quest, as it is. I'm going to see if I can't make use of the smithy that I had forged. I had assisted in the forging of Mr. Trothar's armor.
Right.
I know his first name. I can never remember the last name.
No. Just every time I
and
think of that
it-
armor.
Yeah, the fucking armor.
Yeah.
Let's combine 3 people's entire gold. Yeah. God.
Well, no, it was only 2.
I thought it was cheese.
No, it was only
It was
Leslie.
me.
No, your money was used for our lodging.
Oh, yeah, well, you still use 3 people's money.
Anyway, but I will see if I can't use the same smithy I used last time to forge weapons for Zarfaya and I'll look at Laura, who is probably still avoiding everyone,
Yeah.
and Laura. If you need any of your weapons worked on, I should be able to do so. It should not. Depending on what you need, though, you will need to provide the money for the materials. I suggest that we take at least half of a 10-day before we continue to provoke the world it's trying to kill us.
I have no opposition.
Interesting way of phrasing that, but I'm fine with that as well.
He's gonna lean over to Lessla. How long is a 10-day again?
Lessla is doing her best not to facepalm and says, a 10-day is 10 days long, cheese.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm waiting for the next question. I don't know if Cheese knows math.
You can do math.
Spells. I'd like to think she.
You notice that 2 5s go
I
into
will
10.
look to Sapphire as I take a deep breath and consider this, and I say is, Miss Eldercrow, if possible, would you please stop by the Adventurers Guild frequently over these next 5 days and see if you can't procure a sizable contract for us, so that we may continue to gain renown and recognition?
I'll do what I can.
Oh. At which point Lessla thinks... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Go for it.
Well, she's thinking. She's thinking. That's what I was
Okay.
describing.
Cheese just looks down to Corvus. What are you going to be doing these 5 days? You can see her kind of wiggle her fingers to make sure that she did in fact count 5.
Was his part kind of looks for a second for things. Just go home for a bit. Funny. What's around back?
His eyes kind of light up.
There are a few things I'd like to try and do. I've never really done city things before. I'd prefer it if somebody else went with me.
I have plans.
What was that? Sorry.
I don't have plans.
Ah, okay.
If you want, you can come with me. Lady Silverster, I trust you won't need my assistance in the smithy.
No, I will not. That being said, Corvus, do you happen to know of any skilled herbalists in this city? Or you, Sapphire?
Yes.
If
I
you
imagine Sapphire would too.
Yeah.
I am in need of specific types of materials to make a specific item. I do not know what they are, but I do know that an herbalist would be the most likely to know them.
I will probably give her a name of a a herbalist that maybe where Corvus learnt most of what he knows about herbs from. That'd be reliable. Halfling or gnome lady.
Alright. As you guys begin to actually enter the town proper, you do notice it's taking a little bit, like they are...
Yeah.
There's a little bit more of a guard's presence out front, which, given what's happened, is understandable.
Oh, yeah,
There's also
right.
definitely been time for
Magic.
word to get back.
Yeah.
Considering that we sent the Dragonborn trio ahead 2 days, I imagine
Yeah. They have magic cell phones.
that's true. Improved sending stones. They now have
Yeah.
video function.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, as you begin to draw closer to there's sort of like a checkpoint, like they are actually checking through some of the stuff which they weren't before. Or well, not as much. Like before, it was just kind of fruit, good. Animals, good. You gotta leave that one out here. We don't let that in the city. Now it is actually they're like physically like checking through.
Oh,
They're still
no,
being
what
very
do I do about
respectful.
boy?
Always had to put little cat ears. It's just a very large cat.
A very large cat.
He hisses. He doesn't bark.
He's
Heckle.
bilingual.
Yeah.
They're pretty tolerant of anything that seems or behaves trained. If it doesn't, then they're less inclined to let it
Yeah.
into the city.
It's a
But
hunting
overall,
animal.
Is that why I keep seeing tigers?
Corvus probably uses a mixture of the oven gear and the trade gear. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
but yeah. Otherwise, as you all begin to draw a little closer to the city, it finally becomes your turn.
A large group. That makes sense.
Yeah, one of the guards. He's like, there's one of them that has a list, and as they go to start doing it, the one with the list like kind of taps the other on the shoulder, motions for him to look over at something. He nods, walks over to you. If you wouldn't mind, would you all be willing to step over to the side for some time?
Sapphire doesn't drop this.
Assure you he is trained.
Lessla.
Oh, he is quite
That
a good
is-
boy.
Far from the issue, sir.
Lessla
Oh, there are
will.
issues.
Can I insight this? Like, why? Like, see maybe in their expressions, like if it's a good step to the side or if it's a bad step to the side.
Doesn't matter.
Yes.
Dog, it's airport security. It sucks either way.
That's fair.
Lessla will say is, given the increase in security, I will assume this has something to do with the recent events. So, I think it would be best if we listen to the gods. And she will look at the very obvious thieving type.
I just want to say I thought you said gods for a second.
No, gods.
You said it again. Guards.
Lessla has a slight British accent. She doesn't say her R's.
They do. They roll them.
Lesla's just special.
And Sapphire will just kind of shrug at the accusatory look she's getting from Lessla.
Was realizing that people behind him will start making a fuss soon. Begins moving and trying to shift the horses.
I will do my best to help with that, while also mentally debating if I can get away with casting minor illusion constantly to make that bird sound, and deciding it's probably a bad idea to do it right here in front of the guards.
Yeah, maybe not the best.
Yeah. Cheese helps move everything to the side.
Danger! Danger!
Danger,
Technically,
Will
anything's a
Robinson.
Technically, anything's a bird sound if you include parrots.
Or starlings. Ever heard an eastern starling?
No.
Anyway, as you are all moved off to the side, you see quite a few of the other wagons go past. The guards don't bother you, though a couple of them do stand by.
Making sure we don't dip.
Yeah.
I
You can tell
wanna-
these are the city watch, so these
I
are like
get-
fully armored.
Do I get any insight, like, see, more so than you?
You can go
Okay.
ahead and roll.
I also would like to do that.
I get the
Yeah.
feeling of course, is
Go
as
ahead
he
and
is
roll.
knowledgeable.
Damn it.
Anyone who wants to can go ahead and roll insight. Okay.
15.
I guess I'll roll.
All right.
Oh, that's 19.
Okay. Sapphire and Corvus, they don't seem to be like
Too perturbed.
they don't seem especially perturbed based off of your reaction, but they do seem like very intent on doing this. Cheese, the way Cheese would know this, you know what it's like when the subordinates in the pack, when the alphas told them what to do. That's the sense you're getting from these guys.
They're just following
Someone
orders.
higher on the food chain told them to do
Heck.
this, and it is very important that they do it. And Lessla, this is the type of response you would see. This is the type of rigid obedience that you would see, not when, like, the guard's captain, but when the guy who hired the guard's captain tells you to do something.
Oh, this is
This is someone really important has told them to do it,
yes.
and they are not going to screw it up because they will lose their job if they do.
Lessla turns to Sapphire and says, "Whatever you do, do not embarrass yourself." And then does not elaborate as she turns.
Corvus is cleaning his fingernails with a knife.
I can't do anything about him.
Just the kind of like subtly insulted, raised
This is
brow. Like,
also
rude.
Waterdeep. They've probably seen worse than Corvus.
Yeah.
They've probably seen they've seen Corvus a lot more.
But yeah, no. Let's all say is, judging by how the guards are acting like they're actually part of the military for once, you can assume that the person that has instructed them to do whatever it is they're doing is the person responsible for paying the person they work for.
This comes from. What does it split into? It's City Watch. Two ranks. And then there's the
For the City Watch, pretty much any of the higher ups can tell a City Watch what to do. Like, they answer to everybody. What Lessla is describing, though, is probably someone connected to the Lords. Is about the level you're looking at.
Would I have
This is
any
not
idea
another-
who to put
This
that?
is not another company. This is not some, like, the captain of the guard. This is someone important. This is someone who you could define as nobility.
Would Sapphire have any idea who that might be?
It's Waterdeep, so that's very hard. There's obviously the named individuals, of which there are a few. There are several named individuals that get a say and that actually manage what goes on around in Waterdeep. There are a number of mages that it could be. But there's also the masked lords. So, who really knows?
Yeah.
In other cities, it might be easier. Not Waterdeep.
Okay.
Yeah, the Master Lords outrank Magisters. Magisters are very powerful.
Yeah.
Magisters,
Well, that
doesn't Magisters would fit.
Yeah, Magisters can sentence a lot. The only one who can overturn it is the Lord.
Yeah.
Very
But
powerful.
yeah, to Lesla's remark, Sapphire will just say, "Well, that doesn't exactly narrow anything down."
After a little while, what you do see walking up to you, you see them come out of the gate first and chat with one of the guards, who points over in your direction, and you can tell the others are like rigid at attention. They stop searching the cart they're doing, kind of to the irritation of the poor Kalimshan merchant, who would very much just like to go sell his wares.
I just
that's the
think
important
of
one.
I'm just thinking of like a Khajiit merchant in Skyrim who the guards are like, like the Dragonborn walks up and they're like, "Oh, Dragonborn,
Yeah.
God damn it!"
Khajiit has wares and would like to sell them to those with coin.
I don't know. After a moment, they exchange their things, and you can see the guards salute whoever this is. As comes up is there's one kind of a younger man in robes, though it's hard to get a really good look at him. You can
What
seems
color are
human.
his robes?
They seem very simple. Like they are about what you'd see on some of the. Like he's definitely a mage of some sort. You can recognize the arcane symbolism on them, but not of any specific order. This
Says
is like
juicy on
just
the back.
generic. Hmm?
Please.
It's juicy on the back. An arcane script. I'm sorry. Weird mood today.
Lessla is the only one who would be able to try and divine more about his robes and the arcane nature of them.
Okay, I'll roll that Arcana check.
Okay.
I'm assuming just no advantage on this one.
No, this would be a fairly easy check, though.
Okay. Let's see. I rolled a 9, got a 17.
Oh, yeah. So you can tell that he is primarily dedicated towards the School of Abjuration, based on just the attire that he has. Fairly... He's certainly based on what you can see, some of the arcane script you recognize as belonging to spells that are significantly beyond your ability. Like, this guy is probably on par with what Rivelin was. Give or take a little bit.
All I know is that if the Arcane Brotherhood ever gives me troubles, I'm going to remind them of what happened in the Icewind Dale 200 years ago, or however many 100 years ago that D&D usually takes place in.
But on either side of him are two individuals. The one of them, if you had to guess, he doesn't look like he's anyone especially important. If you had to peg him, you would say this is like a forest guide. He seems to be
similar to Corvus.
Yes, but this guy does it as a profession. Corvus is more hermit. This guy is more...
I forest guide sometimes.
Yeah, this guy is more, I do this professionally.
Yes, you're more, I do this to get you away from my house.
Yes. But that is indeed the difference. Like, there's... Like, Corvus conforms more to, like, what an elven guide would be. Yeah, I'm gonna take you where you need to go, but I want you to keep well away from my stuff. That's why I'm doing it, and also you can give me a little bit of money. This guy's like, I know what I'm doing. If you want to stay alive, you come and you talk to me. A good difference would be. No, that's not a good analogy. Never mind. And the other one, to his left, is a. She looks to be a half-orc, and she has a big set of heavy armor on, but it doesn't have any, like, heraldry that you recognize.
That's not surprising.
It looks very nice. In fact, if you had to guess, it's probably magical, but there's no heraldry on it.
Hey, did you say what the ranger-looking fellow was?
It's hard to tell. He seems human-ish. He does have a hood. But, so, beyond that, he's probably not a full elf. You've seen how they carry themselves. He doesn't fit the bill. But could be a half-elf, could be any number of other things. He's clearly not a dragonborn or lizard folk. The one in the wizard robes walks up to you all. You all would be the... He looks at the scroll. Mithril scales?
Lessla will do a curtsy as she says is, that is indeed the name of our party.
If you'd be willing to follow me, the Lord Blackstaff has requested an audience with you.
I imagine Lord Blackstaff definitely just rings a bell in Sapphire's head, and she's like, "Okay,
Everyone except Cheese knows who that is.
just
Everyone,
gonna
you know,
slightly stand a bit straighter.
So,
Was already standing straight before, now it's just like a little bit more."
so this particular Lord Blackstaff, he's come into power since the fall of the previous one, as well as their chosen successor, with the Battle of Shun, several hundred years ago. He came into power very soon after that and has been here since. It is pretty widely acknowledged that, although probably the most powerful mage in the city is the Open Lord, if anyone could take him in a fight, it would be this guy. Not that anyone would ever wish to see that happen, because a fight between the two of them could possibly level the city.
so
That's a terrifying
we're
thought.
trying to pretend I'm not a member of the Mythical Guild.
No longer an option. Lessla,
Make a way back into the forest.
Lessla
It's lonely there.
in order to try seem as cordial as possible, says is, if Lord Blackstaff wishes for our audience, then it would be rude of us to deny him that.
I'm assuming he's important.
Lessla will
You hear the
Well-
half-orc snicker.
Lessla will say is yes. He is very important to anyone in Waterdeep and anyone who practices the mystic arts. Should be aware of just him, just simply from his reputation and the amount of power he wields. Although it is not without understanding that you wouldn't have known of him beforehand.
Oh. Okay.
At the snicker of the half orc, Cheese's cheeks go a little bit red and her ears flick back.
Hmm.
But I'm assuming you all like to follow these three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does the cat
Yeah.
leave?
I imagine the cat's been gone.
I want the cat.
Oh, the cat is gone at this point.
Good.
You
okay,
don't know where
she
she
just went
went.
back and she went back into
Yeah.
what she.
Uh,
Yeah, cool.
Shadow, do we have images for these three?
No.
They're not important yet.
Yeah.
Oh, Shao shows us them later. We don't know that they're gonna kill us.
And now, where you
Jeez.
all are led,
Castle Ward.
yeah, is towards the castle ward. It's not towards the Blackstaff Tower itself.
I
That's-
imagine no one fucking gets in our way.
No, there's people who are very clearly important, and a few of the city guards do follow. The city watch do follow as well.
Just to make sure none of us like somehow slink into the shadows and away from everything. It's like I'm not part of this.
You get the feeling it's less of that and more of the fact that you guys are audience to like the second most powerful individual,
Yeah.
both politically and capability wise,
Yeah.
in the entire city.
Yeah.
They're not passing up the chance to at the very least look good.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if you do slip away, it will look very bad upon them. So that is not advised.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
no,
be
I
funny.
wasn't going to.
It'd be
I
funny
don't
though.
want to die.
It'd be funny though.
I don't have a death.
Are you sure about
Corvus
that?
Corvus will
I have a
probably
light.
try to move. There's only one person taller than him in the fucking group. I'll try to keep it between near the horses, and she try and hide himself.
Yes.
Sapphire's gonna stick to the middle.
Lessla is very proudly walking at the front of the party.
Cheese is
So-
walking like cheese.
Where you are
With me?
directed to is actually over in this area.
Hmm.
Which,
The docks.
no, I'm sorry, this one.
Okay.
In fact, right about here.
Oh, the big castle.
Oh, wait. Oh,
So that is in
Castle
fact not a
Waterdeep?
castle.
Is it not?
No,
Black
Castle
Knight Tower?
Waterdeep is over here.
Blackstaff Tower.
Okay.
No, Blackstaff Tower is back up over here.
He said
What you
specifically
are-
not Blackstaff Tower.
it's a manor.
What this is, and Lessla, you'd be able to recognize it almost instantly. Sapphire and Corvus, you'd have definitely heard of this place, if not seen it. What this place is the House of Wonder. The House of
Okay.
Wonder serves two purposes. One, it is a mage academy. Second, it is a temple of Mystra, and possibly one of the largest in the Forgotten Realms.
Oh god. As soon as we're led here, there's a noticeable change in Lesla's demeanor.
In a good way or a bad way?
She hates people that actually follow Mistra.
Ah.
Don't worry,
Well,
I'm too
then
invested
Lessla
in
would-
Gale to disagree.
There's another thing that Lessla would dislike, and that's knowing that the current Blackstaff is a chosen of Mystra.
Yep.
Most of them have been.
Yeah. But being a chosen Mistra doesn't necessarily mean you're a follower of Mistra.
It largely does. But anyway.
Largely it does, but not necessarily. You can be chosen by a god and be like, well, I guess I'm here now.
Yeah, reluctant clerics are the best clerics.
Peace moment.
Clerics are the
So you
best.
say that, but people have refused. Anyway. As you all are led towards the rather large and imposing building, you do have some time for conversation amongst yourselves if you wish. If not, then you'll just be led straight there.
I guess I'm more taking in our escorts because I'm not sure if Sapphire would have seen them just around before. And
No.
did they at all react to our weird auras?
If so, they didn't show it.
The
Okay,
fuck?
I
Blackstaff. They destroy buildings with thoughts.
that's
yeah,
fair.
I imagine that higher level adventurers are less prone to reacting
Freaking
to
out?
that type of thing because they deal with other shit.
Yeah, these are the type of people that can suppress their innate fear. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't be very good at their job.
I imagine we'll go see the House of Wonder and realizes that's where we're heading. His eyes for a minute kind of go wide and then immediately drop back to the ground.
But Lessla, just kind of seeing the house owner, says, "Of course we're going to this snooty
You're at the head of the band, my friend. They hear you.
I apologize if you've said anything. My headset died.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I would have thought that you would have liked a place like this.
Well, the problem is that those that follow Mistra think they're all better than everyone because they follow the god of magic. Or goddess of magic. Have to be very particular with them because they... Look, let's just say, just because you follow the goddess of magic doesn't mean you're any good at magic.
I don't follow her, and I like to think I'm pretty good at magic.
Exactly. Though you can,
Sapphire is not commenting on any of this.
you can be good at magic.
He's just
without
saying
having-
this full volume, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You can be good at magic without being a follower of the goddess of magic. But there are quite a few followers of Mistra who don't believe that to be the case. And if you're good at magic, they automatically assume that you follow their god.
rather presumptuous.
Magic, not just wizard magic, on the different types.
Yes and no. The problem is that, for the most part, human magics all pull from the weave. Even if it is magic of the divine sort, it still pulls from the weave. And the weave is entirely under Mistra's domain. Now, granted, magical effects can be created through purely divine power, but the magic of the normal person will almost always draw from the weave. It is that manipulation of the weave that allows us to do supernatural abilities with our magic. Now, some people are able to harness magic in different ways, but that is rare and far between. And usually can be distinguished when they have the ability to cast magic in an anti-magic field. Well, it's not actually magic, but the point stands.
Regardless,
Should be
as
interesting then.
sorry, go ahead.
No.
How are our guides reacting to this conversation?
They're not.
They're not okay. They can at least respect that. I'm not saying anything though. Like
Adventurers are probably the people with the most diverse opinions.
That's fair.
Regardless, you all are ultimately brought to the House of Wonder. And as you do enter, and you do notice not only is there a massive symbol of Mistra on the front of it, there are also those of several other deities blanketed around in the sort of courtyard. Azuth is one of the more notable ones, but pretty much any deity who you can relate to magic that people would openly be willing to worship can be found having some representation there.
Cool.
You suspect that even the others do find some foothold here.
Mercule?
Sorry?
Mercule?
Merkel?
Merkel.
The god of death?
Yeah. Yeah, necromancy and stuff.
Necromancy is something different.
I thought he was like the god of necromancy.
He is of death.
Oh, okay.
Of death, and not undeath.
He was a
Now,
necromancer.
undeath is another deity. Well, actually, there's a couple. But anyway.
Vecna over there in the corner.
Actually, not his portfolio, surprisingly.
Yeah,
really?
Vecna is the god of secrets no one should know.
Oh, I thought he had like
Yes.
necromancy there as well. Alright, cool.
Well,
No,
some
necromancy is more assigned.
Yeah.
It's more assigned to one specific demi-deity, the Velsharoon, but you do not see anything of Velsharoon around here.
Okay.
Also, whether or not Velsharoon is actually still around is up for debate.
I'm learning.
But anyway,
Just out of curiosity, is there a statue of Saluna in Courtyard?
not here, no.
Okay.
Is the one of Coralon.
There
We're
is
just gonna
not
go through
one of
every
Coralon,
deity.
but there's not one of Coralon. You do recognize a symbol of him in like one of the smaller shrines off to the side.
I do need to ask this: is there a statue of Bahamut?
Not of him, no.
Interesting.
There is one of a different draconic deity whose name escapes me at the moment.
Is it with a T?
It is not Tiamat, no.
There's
There is
one.
another one. I'm just trying to remember their name.
There's a god of draconic magic.
Yes. I just have to remember what they are.
Well, while you're remembering that, we should probably continue.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
I get sidetracked.
Kareshka?
That sounds right, but again, I have to check. But not important. We can continue.
Full building.
As you enter into the main building proper, at this point you've been brought off the wagons. They have told you they will take them where they need to go. But
Who wants to mention about chest?
Hmm?
What's the
Yes.
mention about Colonel Chestnut? Someone has to.
okay.
Well,
If you desire for him to stay there, they will leave him there.
Oh, it's
They're leaving your horses alone.
Not our horses.
Yeah, they're
Yeah. Yeah, they are leaving yours alone. If you say that's yours, they will leave him alone.
Not ours.
Colonel Chestnut's with us. Please don't.
One of the city guards gives you a nod and unties him from the cart and gives him a gentle pat on the shoulder.
Please gives him good scritches.
He seems begrudgingly happy about the scritches.
I'm a proud noble horse hat behind the ear and higher. Proud noble horse.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
He'll make good. Anyway, we done?
forward.
Yeah. As you enter in, the one in the lead, the one mage does direct you off towards one small direction. You can see there's a little area off to the side that seems to lead to a staircase.
Just because I want to hurt Corvus's brain, I want to have him instinctually cast attack.
Corvus is going to what?
Cast detect magic.
Detect magic.
Okay.
Just for Corvus to just suddenly go blind.
So, have you ever turned on night vision goggles in broad daylight?
I have had a torch in my eye and turned it on bright.
That's
Why?
nothing compared to this.
Nothing.
Why
there,
would you do that?
It's
because-
called Truth or Dare.
And Rupert does not
can't
tell the
argue with
truth.
that. Anyway, Corvus is blinded.
I imagine he
Yeah.
immediately drops. I imagine he immediately drops concentration. Just not because he knows what concentration is, because he's overwhelming of senses.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you like make like a noticeable grunt with you being blinded like that?
Me. Yes.
Let's turn. to
I'm gonna turn around. Are you okay?
Oh,
All right.
Did you look at the sun?
Doesn't respond.
Corvus, please tell
Alright.
me you didn't look at the sun.
Corvus is just gonna stay silent as we continue walking, isn't he?
Yeah.
Lesla's gonna just shake her head. I thought he was smarter than that.
I've learned to assume nothing.
Here's a pretty good. This about this level of brightness, Corvus. This is what you just see everywhere.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, you pretty much just see that everywhere.
Ow.
Dear God.
My
Yeah,
brain.
that's a good idea of what's going right into your face.
Yeah, he ends that.
Yeah. But you are directed up the stairs, and you will be able to find the Blackstaff at the top.
This is a...
Oh wait, hold on. I have a question.
Mhm.
Are the floors tiled?
Yes.
He's having difficulty.
Oh, right.
There's also, anytime Corvus takes a step, there's a footprint left behind.
Oh no.
There are small
Cheese is relying on her stat.
there are small little familiars running around
Oh,
that are cleaning up after Corvus specifically.
I have a low entourage.
so we've
Alright.
got clopping
There's
sounds from Cheese that are, clearly struggling. We've got oh god, what's a good word for muddy track leaving?
What's his name? Linus? From
Pigpen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did I say Linus? That was just the first Peanuts character that popped into my head. It's just
I mean, it's the best one, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Sapphire and Lessla, whose shoes are probably just clicking against the floor as we step.
They're just normal people.
Well, I imagine Sapphire's are probably quieter than Lesla's, his habits.
Lessla is a very agile person.
Yeah, but
I
you
do not
consciously
like
walk
tiled
quietly?
floors.
No, she consciously walks louder so that people know she's there.
He has boots that are designed to make noise.
Mhm.
Those boots were made for walking. And that's just what they'll do.
God damn it.
Damn it,
Anyway.
Harume!
Anyway.
And I will walk 500.
No!
I was. I do. Nice places insist on having tiled floors.
Because it is hard to make tile and maintain them, therefore it is a image of wealth.
Oh, rich people are stupid. I hate this.
Lessla raises an eyebrow.
I just imagine.
Lessla will remember that.
Lessla just like that.
Lessla disapproves. Sapphire and Corvus approve.
I still gotta make those, damn it.
But forward.
And Cheese, you'll be happy to know the stairs are not tiled, they are stone.
Oh, thank goodness.
Smooth stone.
No, not smooth. You get the feeling like at some point in time, some poor wizard's apprentice would have had to walk up very smooth stone steps with a vial of something volatile. And the
Tiles?
result
Are
was
they-
not pretty.
Are they rough tiles or are they smooth tiles down the floor?
They are definitely rough.
Good. I was about to say, because fucking, you get that wet, and it's gonna get wet. You're gonna fucking, everyone's gonna slip, and everyone's gonna break something.
Yeah, no, the stairs are specifically rough. Out in the main hall, it is very glossy, clean tile, but the
Oh.
stairs are rough.
Like, for the person who has
I
tapped me
imagine-
lightly off of tiles, that hurts.
As
Someone's gonna slip and fall. That's not safe.
as someone who slides around their house in socks, that sounds fun.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's the apprentice wizard trying to pay off debt. You break your fucking. Much fun.
Anyway,
But up we go.
you
Let's
all begin
fly,
making
dude.
your way up the stairs. As you do start to hear some. You get more towards the top. You start to hear some noise. Like it's a very loud conversation is going on.
Do we recognize any of the voices?
You do not recognize the voices. I don't know if you even speak the language.
I
No.
want to ask what language, but we're not gonna know.
I think he's looking at our character sheets to figure out if we know the language.
Probably.
Oh, I know none of you do.
Okay.
It's a very loud clip, clop, clip, clop.
Stop throwing primordial at us.
Speak English.
English motherfucker, do you speak it?
As you head up, you can hear like one voice definitely getting very, very agitated. I don't think any of you speak Ignian.
That is primordial. That is a dialect of primordial. Fuck you.
It is a dialect of primordial, yes. Look, it's come up twice, and one time was an elemental. You'll see why it is on this one.
I can imagine what it is. Also, they got rid of the dialects in Mordenkainen. Yeah. Now they just know primordial.
Oh, pish posh.
Actually, no, they don't even know primordial anymore because you have to choose to pick it. Anyway.
I got angry.
What you see as you, I'm guessing you're all gonna enter.
Yeah.
If we
I'm gonna kind of glance to the side. Cough,
Well, I mean,
cough, flowers.
I should
before
clarify,
following
there's
you.
not really a door.
Lessla will enter.
Just
So
kinda-
the first thing you
I will
see...
wait until I'm asked it, as is polite.
Okay.
We were asked in. We were brought here. There's no door.
Still wait.
Corvus, are you coming?
What do we see?
Is everyone just... Oh, I thought everyone was just staring and looking at Corvus for a second.
No, I
Well,
walked
think
in.
we are.
I kind of like did a half stop, looked at Corvus like, are you coming? And he didn't respond to me, so I'm in limbo.
I walked in.
Okay. So, then Lessla sees this immediately. Towering, it's a projection of this individual. They're not here, you can see through them. But, you see towering above the, rather modest-sized older man is a giant projection of, this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
That you can recognize as a genie of, or djinn of some variety.
Huh.
You can probably guess based off of the current smoke blowing out of his nose and ears that he is probably a fire genie or an Ifriti.
Mm-hmm.
And he is bellowing something in infernal. He seems very displeased.
Yeah,
As
Sapphire's
the
after
small
Corvus
the man simply standing off to the side, who I'm going to go ahead and put his image in here now, simply looks up to him, makes a simple, short, and very calm response, and with a wave of his hand dismisses the image. As the Ifriti is very clearly about to start into another tirade, but is cut short.
power move.
Mm-hmm.
The old-fashioned slam the phone
Basically,
shut.
what that is the equivalent of is hanging up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
The old-fashioned flip phone version of hanging up. Just, just gonna stop that.
Just realized Lessla still doesn't have like the outer parts of her fine clothes and all
Those
this.
got burnt away.
Yep.
But as you enter, this individual does turn to you all.
As he turns to us, Lessla will curtsy.
Sapphire is actually gonna kind of do the same. As best she can when not wearing a dress.
Mm-hmm. She makes the motion.
Mm-hmm.
As for is she still standing out in the hall with Corvus?
Jesus walked. She's like in the threshold of the door, like looking back at Corvus.
Okay. Lara and Zarfea and Lyari are. Lyari comes in and does a very exaggerated bow. Lara tries to mimic the curtsy. Anyone paying attention notices that her tail is tightly wrapped around one of her legs.
Mm-hmm.
Zarfea follows suit of everyone else is doing it, so I probably should too, but she doesn't seem to really know why. And Corvus is just out in the hall. Does Cheese do anything, or just stand there?
Jesus isn't
Cheese
even
will
looking at the
dip her
guy.
head.
Yeah. Now, you may enter. I did invite you here, of course.
Corvus enters.
And upon you doing so, he does return the bow to the lot of you. Not a deep one, but one of acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I invited you here. You're my guest. I am showing respect.
Yep.
Yes.
Lessla, after he bows, will stand up fully, and she puts her hands behind her back and says, Lord Blackstaff, I imagine a man as busy as you would not simply call on lower adventurers for a social call.
A social call, my dear lady, is what you have just witnessed. As you can see, it has not gone as well as I had hoped.
Well, those of the elemental planes can be as fickle as the planes themselves.
And those of the Afriti very stubborn. And dense. But that is enough of such matters. I've been told of your exploits at the town of River's Crossing. I must say I was rather impressed. Especially from those who, prior to now, had very little information on or reason to keep my eyes on them.
Lessla nods and says, well, if it had not been for the exemplary improvisation skills of my compatriots, I doubt we would have done quite as well as we did. But all things considered, we did all that we could.
The city of Waterdeep thanks you for all that you have done.
Well, it's just it's raising an eyebrow very starkly. Not saying anything, just raising an eyebrow.
And as he sort of gestures for you all to come further in, he does have a little bit of a table here. You get this feeling this is sort of maybe like what you could call a branch office for him.
I imagine.
As you know that there
Tile
are
again.
there's no
Rug.
this one is
Rug.
actually rough stone, as well as
okay.
what was in the stairs.
What is with stone? It's so cold. You want like a nice.
Well, that's why they have hearths.
Look, magic is cast in here.
I don't
Wood
fucking
sets
care.
on fire.
Oh, wood rug. At least a
A
rug.
rug also
Rug's
sets
worse.
on fire.
I don't know. I have tried to set many rugs on fire.
You haven't tried hard
Why-
enough. It's real
Not
easy.
gonna ask
Why
about
does that not surprise me?
Okay,
It's
now the
okay.
question.
It's okay. The only thing I've ever set on fire is my.
Anyway,
So, what are the seating arrangements looking like?
so the seating arrangements, he has a rounded table, which there are precisely enough seats for everyone.
Lessla will.
I am not sitting next to the Blackstaff guy.
Lessla will sit in a position where she can look directly at Lord Blackstaff, and
He has not seated yet. He
No,
is
he's not.
waiting for you all to sit.
damn it.
Well, shit, I can't decide. Not. Gotta sit
Well,
between
in that
two
case,
people.
Lessla will sit down first.
Okay.
Corvus will help
Cheese
boys
will
in his
sit.
chair.
Cheese will sit to Lesla's left.
So you said
Okay.
everyone, including the boy, right? There's enough for Rick. He is on
But,
chair.
Yes, in fact.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But you notice that
Is
Lesla's.
there one for flowers?
No.
I would. Okay, good. It remains a secret.
Lessla, you do know that Lesla's posture is very refined as she sits down.
This is the most slumped thing as he sits down, like a puff of like dirt.
I'm going to try and sit between two people. I don't care who. Between two people, as long as it's not Blackstaff. But I am very much sitting upright and at attention, and
Doing her best to mimic
She's sitting
Lessla.
directly to. Yeah, she's just sitting directly to Lesla's left, and she is also trying to mimic Lessla as closely as possible. Though she does feel a little bit awkward. You could she just looks awkward sitting like that because she's very definitely the tallest person there.
Mm-hmm.
Boy feels he's not got the right body shape.
oh boy.
Oh, just pause on the table. There's all dirt on it now.
This is probably also the most proper, like, you've seen Sapphire as well.
There's boy.
Right.
No.
He hops up on the chair and sits in it much like a dog would. You would think that the chair would not be able to support his weight, but it does.
He's only 200 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
That's being generous. But anyway.
They say they're average around 200 pounds.
Average, yes. Boy is slightly larger.
Oh, he's a chunky boy? Alright.
He's a chunky.
He's a chunky boy.
Chunky boy.
All right. So where does everyone else?
Yeah,
sit?
turns out being a pet will kind of do that to you.
He's not a pet, he's a...
Feeding people,
He's a
you
work
know,
colleague.
sometimes it makes you a little bit chunky.
I imagine
Anyway.
that what Sapphire does to like make sure she sits between two people is as soon as Lessla sits down, she sits to Lesla's right, so that when Corvus sits down, he sits to her right.
Oh, of course will.
Oh no, I have decided to sit probably next to Cheese more so than Lessla.
Yeah.
Immediate left, and just hoping the line continues.
The one who is immediately sitting down next to Lesla's right would be Lara.
Okay.
I'd say Corvus will position himself in a way so the boy is in between him and the Blackstaff.
Okay. So it winds up being next to the Blackstaff are Zarfea, because she's more paying attention to everything else and winds up sitting down next to last. And boy.
Oh. That is.
He is always in between these.
He does not seem perturbed by this at all. Though from what you know of him, he is a little eccentric.
We've got in a circle, Lessla, and to the left, Cheese, Sapphire, Corvus, Boy, Blackstaff, Zarfea, Laura, and then Lyari.
No, Zarfea, Lyari.
Zarfea,
Laura.
Lyari, Laura.
Pretty much.
Cool.
As he takes his seat, you do see him with not even making a motion, you just see him sort of nod towards the table, and a bowl with some food in it springs forward.
You know what comes next. You know the question next. Answer the question before I ask it.
What type of food it is?
Yes.
Various varieties, yeah. There's meats, there's some potatoes of various varieties.
You want to know?
Any type of
We're not
potato
getting
is
any of that
represented.
food. Boy is just gonna gun for it.
You want to know what it is? You want to know what it is?
In front of Boy specifically, there is a massive raw drumstick.
Mm-hmm. Is what this is he actually had a what is it called? The fucking trap spell. Glyph of warding that had a heroic feast cast into it.
So, Lessla as well as Sapphire, you can roll this check. be a history check.
Mm.
See if you recall anything about this fellow.
Damn it.
Well, that's a
Sapphire
nat one.
does not. Lessla does not.
Oh,
I
Okay.
rolled a nat 1. It was
So no,
on a
not-
13.
We both rolled a 7. That's very sad.
Yeah, you're welcome to ask him about it, but as far as you know, that could be a decent explanation. He takes a seat and simply reaching his hand out, brings over to him one of the a plate with some fruits and a small sliver of meat on it as well.
Lessla using her
The
invisi-
table is set in perfect etiquette.
Mhm.
So
Le-
basically, there's a plate for everyone in front of them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Lessla will use her
Sapphire is
invisible
gonna
mage
follow
hand
suit.
and draw her plate to her, grabbing the proper fork and the proper knife to start eating the first course.
Reaches over with his hand, puts it on his plate, and starts eating.
Mm-hmm.
He goes for
He
less
does not
messy
seem
stuff.
perturbed by that.
Yeah. Some meat and vegetables.
Waiting for the answer to a question.
So just to save it, no, and also no. On those two. Yes.
Damn.
Sapphire. You know what? Sapphire, go ahead and roll me a. I'll say hit. There's not really culture, so it'd have to be history, I think.
Alright.
Yeah.
Come on. Nope. I don't remember.
damn.
This was never covered. No.
No.
There are too many forks. You do not understand.
You can always
You can
just
go-
follow
You can
Lesla.
go
Can I?
Lessla
yeah,
route,
following Lesla's
or
lead.
you can go
With
the
that,
Corvus
with
route.
that check, you can attempt to follow Lessla.
But just try not to make it look obvious is the difficult part, because cheese is between
Sapphire,
us.
there's you got 2 forks on the end of each of your arms. It's fine. Just nose.
Anyway,
Cheese does not eat.
he waits for everyone to finish getting some food and begin eating before he says anything else.
Mhm.
Tell me, how long have you all been a group?
Listen,
In game, we've been together for what, a month?
Yeah,
Less
about.
just about
Less than.
less than.
Yeah.
Almost a month.
Almost a month.
Very
that's,
close.
Yeah.
That's why Les will say.
Almost a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Approximately 1 month, although myself and Cheese have been traveling together for longer than that.
He nods. And you, my dear, if you do not mind my saying so, seem very young for someone as well versed in the art as you are.
And at this point, it's Lessla is almost on the fly, just trying to decide whether or not to say, "Oh, I'm a prodigy." She'll say is, "My mentor was quite skilled in the arts themselves, and it has allowed me to excel at what he described an abnormal pace."
Abnormal indeed. I have many apprentices twice your age who are not as skilled.
I am not fully aware of how long it takes most people to learn magic, the level that I have attained. I feel like 6 years is a long time.
He simply nods, and before turning his attention to others in the group. And as for the rest of you, I'm aware that some of you are denizens of Waterdeep, and some of you are not so much. Looking very pointedly at Cheese.
Her cheeks flush a little bit red.
Tell me, do you come from a circle of druids, or have you been taught by someone else?
Oh, I sort of learned on my own. I didn't have a druid circle.
And how did you come to be self-taught?
Well, oh, I listened.
Listen,
The earth speaks. Many just forgot how to listen.
I see. Cheese, you just with being you are able to tell that he read probably a lot more into that than you intended for him to do.
Was I supposed to say something different?
Not at all. I asked for a question, you answered appropriately.
Cheese feels uncomfortable.
I will clarify. Basically, he would glean more information from that than you probably intended him to.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're dealing with someone who probably who is at this point seen it all. This guy is well over 200 years old, at
Yeah,
least.
yeah. She just doesn't. She's not used to people being able to see through her. She doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you, Miss Sapphire, was it?
That it was.
I am familiar with your shop, the Gilded Glamour, I believe. Though
It's
I am aware that you are not the primary proprietor.
uh, that may be true. Regardless, it's an honor to hear that you've made purchases at our shop.
I have not personally, but I am aware of several of my apprentices who have.
It's an honor, regardless.
And you, Mr. Corvus,
Eyes. The head falls.
I'm told that you are somewhat of a local legend in some areas of our city.
Not really.
Hmm. Perhaps I was misinformed on this matter. Or perhaps you are not aware of how well known your story, the story of the forest hermit, although that is one of many names I have heard of. Or perhaps this is simply referring to another individual of which I am as of yet unaware. Regardless, your affinity for this creature, he gestures to Boy and gives him a small pat on the side.
How's Boy reacting to it?
Boy doesn't seem bothered. Boy seems very happy with the giant drumstick that has been placed in front of him, and he has almost choked on twice at this point.
I'm amazed it's not gone yet, honestly.
It's
boy, like,
probably the size
When
of
I
the
say
boy.
giant, I mean giant.
Okay.
like it
So-
still takes some time to eat a full human. You've seen him eat a full human.
So
Take a
imagine
couple
what an
minutes.
ostrich drumstick would look like.
Okay.
This is bigger than that.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
the drumstick is like the size of boy.
Yes, we hunted a
It's
rock.
not quite the
and
size of Boy, but it's significantly larger than his head.
Can't swallow it all in one go.
I mean, that didn't stop him from trying, but no, he
Oh
cannot.
no, definitely not. Crocodile rules.
I have met very few who are able to tame one so effectively.
I didn't.
A form of mutual understanding, then.
I imagine Cloud is currently has his chest puffed out, waiting for Blackstaff to comment on him.
Yeah,
Ew,
pretty much.
Ew, tiny lizard firebolt.
Oh,
I think he wouldn't do that. Or would he? No, if we have like I have 500 to the dragon familiars. Blackstaff.
And as for you, he gestures to Lara, Miss Lara. I do hope that you will find our fair city to be welcoming, and that you can practice your own arts in what must be one of the most free and inspirational cities in the realms, if I can be permitted to brag. She very nervously nods and thanks him, but doesn't say much more. And as for you, Miss Sorfea, I can assure you our city is doing all that we can to locate those who were removed from your town. If anything is learned, all of you, will be some of the first to know. I take this matter very seriously, as does the Open Lord. Zarfea doesn't really say anything, but she does give a nod. All of you, especially Lessla, would know at this point she is basically just trying, not quite shutting down, but it's very close to that. Like, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm not going to let anything out.
Lessla will.
You've come to know that pretty well from her.
Yeah, Lessla will make a mental note to talk to her about it later, because it seems that you need to gain her trust before she'll actually talk about what she's thinking.
It's not so much distress as what you're seeing, to clarify. This is more, Zarfea is not someone who's open.
Yep.
And if she speaks, she will be. This is the alternative.
Yep.
And how could I forget our distinguished guest of the Draconic? He gestures over towards Cloud sitting on your shoulder. It's an honor
think
to
he's
meet your
talking about him.
acquaintance. Boy is busy, almost choking on the drumstick once again.
Okay, wow.
He's very happy. Whatever this is very good, apparently.
Yeah, it's human meat.
It's cockatrice leg.
Ew. No, that's too sinewy.
It may very well be cockatrice. It is big enough.
It's-
I have been told all that I can as to what transpired in River's Crossing. fact that we had no knowledge of it, of this group being as widespread and influential as they were, I find deeply troubling. There are very few who are capable of hiding such activities from both myself and the Open Lord. Although I'm sure I do not need to tell you that.
It is entirely possible if they're capable of hiding such activity from the two of you, they may be that they have been capable of hiding their own presence from you as well.
That may entirely be the case.
As
It
far
is also possible they have taken advantage of other matters in order to better suppress their presence.
Lessla will raise an eyebrow and says, what worldly events could have transpired that could hide such influence?
I suspect the same event that has brought you all here, to this city. That has brought so many to this city.
Lessla nods. It is no... It would not be a surprise if the correlation between a dragon being spotted in the area of Waterdeep and an increase in activity in the dragon cults was possible causation rather than just correlation.
It is indeed. The dragon cult is far more complex than many would assume. There is no one ideology among them. There never was. The largest one did attempt to bring the goddess Tiamat to the material plane. But there are many other groups that oppose them in that act. Even their own founder would not have approved, I suspect, though he is long since dead and buried. There are many offshoots, and always have been, now even more so. It makes them very hard to definitively destroy.
But this didn't seem just like an offshoot, did it?
This seemed as though to be a very powerful and very well organized one, yes. I am no stranger to others that have been active within the city, though I must confess I was not aware of this group to be one, not until very recently. There are rivals within the city. I cannot say the same for. I believe you are also familiar with them.
Sapphire will give a nod.
Yeah, Lessla will nod as well. They did threaten me, and I do not take kindly to threats.
Evidently not. You were all able to make very swift work of them. Our Captain Ashwin was very impressed.
It is only natural when those that deserve no mercy find no mercy.
Indeed. We are still looking further into these matters. And I have dispatched some of our own more secretive individuals to look into this with a more fine-toothed comb than those of our guards and Dragonel and Griffin Riders are capable of.
Lessla, putting the fork she's using down as she's finished with the meat, picks up a new fork and kind of tilts her head in a more curious manner than before and says, I feel that you would not tell us this information if you were not going to offer us a way to assist you.
Or kill us.
He chuckled.
Loud.
He's about to
loud
say...
step.
Was that out loud, Corvus?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's about to answer Lessla, and Corvus speaks, and he does actually give a bit of a hearty chuckle. I can assure you that I bear no such intentions.
If he did,
Whether or
I
not
do...
you believe me in that regard is entirely up to you.
Well, if you did intend to harm us, there's no reason for you to entertain us so.
You are certainly correct. And you are indeed very perceptive, Lady Silverster. I must commend you for it. Yes, I am indeed always looking for individuals such as yourself. Individuals who have done Waterdeep great service, and who will be willing to continue to do so.
Lessla looks to Sapphire and Corvus, who are the actual residents of Waterdeep, before looking back to Blackstaff and says, I am sure that the ability to help the city is not an unwanted one, especially considering the stakes if the cult of the dragon are involved. But simple goodwill and charity will not do much for aspiring adventurers. I assume that in addition to us being able to assist you, you may assist us.
Indeed. There have been many before you who have accepted such an offer. It is a bit of a secret tradition amongst Blackstaffs to have such a retinue of individuals ready to deploy, ones for which they can be entirely distanced as to avoid suspicion. And adventurers such as yourselves have always been a prime candidate for such a force.
Lessla nods. God damn it, Ruford. Yeah, that was a good one. It was a good one. Anyway, but Lessla says is, and at this point, she looks slightly conflicted as she continues to speak. Is I am sure you're aware of my family and nationality. To accept such an offer, I would have to be assured that it would not interfere with those things.
No more than it has interfered with any of the adventurers before you who have taken on such a proposal. You are free to do as you wish. As a matter of fact, it is far better if you continue to do so.
As it will create a sense of disconnect between us and you.
Precisely. All that is asked of you is that should the city need your aid, you will be willing to answer.
Lessla nods and says, "This is a large decision," and looking at everyone around the table, not one that I believe any one of us can blanketly decide for the rest, but I think that it is in my best interests if I were to accept this proposal. Granted, I would need to know more details about it before signing any formal contracts. And at which point she will look to Sapphire and say, "What is your opinion on this?"
And Sapphire looks like she's been thinking this entire time. So if my understanding is accurate, the exact terms would be you allow us to continue doing what we wish, but no matter where we are, if you should call on us, we return to Waterdeep to aid it. Correct?
Largely, no.
Out of character, I heard like you saying you can do whatever you want,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but when we're called upon to aid Waterdeep, we do
So it's
so.
basically, so that is what he said, yes.
And here he's saying largely no to me asking if that was the case for the exact terms of this.
He's about to continue.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got so confused. Like, did I misunderstand everything?
Yes, you did, because you have low intelligence.
This is a largely informal organization. You are, for all intents and purposes, as you should, still adventurers, still your own independent group, still your own individuals, free to pursue your own individual goals, and of course to leave at any time. However, there will be certain... He pauses for a second, tapping the base of his fork on the tip of his plate a few times. Difficult matters, for which individuals such as yourself, who can be trusted, and who cannot be tied to me, will be called upon to act, and will be called upon to undertake. If you are not available for it, if your travels have taken you far from the city's wall, there would be no point to call you back. But if you are available, and the opportunity presents itself, then you will be asked, and you will be expected to answer the call. But I can assure you that to the best of my ability, and those of the other members of this organization, that we will do as little as possible to interfere within your daily lives.
Sapphire's gonna nod at this. She is understanding a little bit clearer now what the exact terms are, or at least what they seem to be. Because it sounds like it's not fully tying us down to Waterdeep, right?
It's not, no.
Okay.
It
He
would be
just wants
very
us
much
to be
appreciated
stand
if
up
you
for
stayed
him.
in the general area, but you are by no means required to.
Yeah. It is a big decision, and I am leaning towards agreeing, but I think I may need at least a little time to fully consider my option.
And you are welcome to have it. I am not one as unreasonable as to demand an answer within the hour. You will all have as much time as you would like, though I suspect that most likely, fairly soon, you will all need to embark upon another such outing, as is the lifestyle you lead. And there may be certain activities for which I may have immediate need. And if you are not available, I cannot promise you a place on them. Nor can I promise you any of their payment.
Boy's really letting him have it.
He's
Can you all
really
hear?
yelling
Can
at
you all
him.
hear that?
Yeah,
Yes.
we
Yeah.
did.
He's really yelling at that
I
drumstick.
hate my mother's dog sometimes.
Bork.
He's really hating that that drumstick is making him joke so many times. He would have been done with it by now.
Good boy.
Don't tell him good boy. He's not supposed to be doing that. It's the middle of the. It's very late, and he's waking up the neighbors.
It is almost
Oh,
time.
sweet
Yeah.
puppy.
Lessla.
This is why I have cats.
The cats are worse.
They'll
Cats
yell
don't
at
wake
you,
up
but
the
they won't
neighbors.
wake up
They
your
just wake
neighbors.
you up. Yeah, cats just
Yeah.
wake you up, and sometimes not with yelling. Sometimes with the shattering of glass.
My cat has also just like straight up just like put her paw in my face. I think she was trying to strangle me in my sleep. That's okay.
Sounds about right. Anyway,
Anyone else want to comment on the situation?
Cheese doesn't feel as though Cheese knows that she isn't smart. And she knows that this guy is very smart, and so she thinks it's probably better to keep her mouth shut.
I'm assuming the silence is no one else comments on this.
Zarfea certainly doesn't. Lara has been looking down at her food. Anyone watching closely enough can see that she's trembling a little bit, but she's keeping it under wraps very well. The tail is still wrapped tightly around one of her legs.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's one thing Sapphire can add. If we want to give you our answer, how would we best give it to you?
There will be individuals in the guild who will make their presence known to you. They would serve as emissaries for this organization. It is important that you very rarely speak to me directly.
And do we have to agree to this arrangement as a group or individually?
If some of you wish to agree and others not, there is no harm in that. I simply can only give certain benefits to those who do agree.
Sapphire is just gonna nod to show she understands.
Meanwhile, Lesla's just thinking, joining secret societies, that's a good way to increase my noble standing.
But how will they know? It's a secret.
That's the point! But no, it is not. Well, the thing is that the reason why, going a little tangent, the reason why joining a secret society has the potential to increase your social standing is because if there's a noble of your nation that is also part of the same secret society that is in a higher position, they will hold you in a higher regard.
Faction located in Waterdeep.
But with fucking Blackstaff, 9th level wizard, man is probably on, like, just is probably has agents in every empire, in every nation.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
What? Not to mention the Silver Empire does have an alliance with the Lords Alliance. That is a weird sentence to say. So it's one of those things where you know they're spying on you, but you don't say anything. One, because it helps you out if they learn something that is technically illegal for you to know. Anyway. But yeah, Lessla will finish her food as she says is, well, is there any other matters you have to discuss with us, Lord Blackstaff?
No, this was the reason why I've called you here. And, well, I must apologize. I'm afraid that my time is required elsewhere. You are all welcome to finish your meal and discuss amongst yourselves. This is by no means a private sanctum. And I'm sure you all are familiar with the exit.
Why did that sound so aggressive?
Because he needs to sound vaguely threatening.
I think we can take this guy, okay. I'll go for his leg. If I go for his neck.
If we were level 5, I might agree with you.
The fuck is wrong?
If you were level 5, he could cast one spell and kill you all.
Yes, but if we're
joy.
level 5, Corvus might be able to stun lock him.
We'll cast silence, go.
No, he couldn't. Anyway.
Of course. Thank you for your time today, sir. It was an honor to meet you.
The honor was mine. With that, he scoots his chair back, silently, surprisingly. Takes a stand. The chair does vanish behind him as he does. Gives you all another bow. And with a wave of his hand, steps forward and walks into, well, just nothing. He just takes a step forward and you see him vanish. Lessla, you can go ahead and roll me this will be an Arcana check.
Yep. That's a 24.
Man.
So, what you have, and it's clicking now, what you have witnessed is a little bit more sorcery than wizardry. This man is clearly studied in wizardry. But those were by no means acts simply any wizard could pull off. There is some innate magic to him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking mages.
Well, I mean, that's not really
There's a book.
anything.
I'm sure you're familiar with the door, but I, peasants, do not need to use it.
I mean,
What a
it's
prick.
Shadow. You are aware that, like, to be a wizard of the Forgotten Realms, you need to have an innate talent to magic anyway.
Yes, what I'm referring to is you're aware that if there's a general understanding amongst those who are learned in it, that there is those who can just do it.
Mm-hmm.
It is in their blood to be able to do it, and they do not need to study. This is closer to what he just did.
Yeah.
This is closer to actual sorcery than wizardry, and yes, there is a defined difference.
Yeah,
It
but
is knowledgeable even in the realms.
Lessla will, not caring if he can still hear this, says this, and this is why I hate people chosen by Mistra.
He made me rather uncomfortable. He
Fine.
used a lot of big words.
What are your opinions on the subject matter of dinner? I now look to everyone who was not talking at all during the dinner, i.e. Corvus.
For lunch.
I say dinner, but yeah, it's probably before even lunch.
Oh,
It's brunch.
fair.
A lovely brunch.
Got a mimosa right here.
But
There
anyway.
is indeed ale.
Mhm.
Ye olden time mimosas.
An ale. It's been a long
Would
day.
they be ale-mosas?
Boo.
No, God, no.
I have a question, Shad, about the ale.
Mm-hmm.
Not cheap ale, is it?
It's dwarven ale.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dwarven ale? Lessla would actually drink that then.
Lessla would know she cannot drink too much of it.
Yes, you cannot drink too much of it, but dwarven ale is...
So let me put it this way: dwarven ale. You ever had vodka before?
Yep.
Yeehaw.
Worse. Dwarven ale is
Yeehaw.
worse.
All right,
Define
well...
worse. Means stronger with more of a
Ale with the
So,
alcohol content of Everclear.
If I had to have a proof, I'd say about an 80 proof minimum.
Ooh, so you need to put water in this.
Yeah.
Lessla, seeing that,
Dwarves
will
don't.
look to Sapphire and say, you might want to put water in that before you drink it, before she drinks hers straight.
There's a reason why dwarves can drink anybody under the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for Lessla to have to make a con save or to get drunk.
Oh, Lessla
If
knows
you're only having a glass, then you're fine.
Lessla knows exactly how much she can drink of this.
Pace yourself.
Again, if you're only having a small glass, of which he has provided smaller glasses, there are also some drinks that do require do have steins for them, but they are of noticeably less quality.
Yeah.
Cheese has eaten nothing and drank nothing.
I don't think we're going by Fey rules here, Miss Cheese.
Oh, no, no, I don't know. He, I'm thinking.
What of?
How to explain? There's a type of fungus that exists, and it infects ants. And what it does is it infects the brain of the ant. And It causes the ant's entire existence to change following the will of the fungus itself, rather than the will of the ant. It feels to me like a fungus.
In Waterdeep is illegal. Magic manipulate people without their consent.
Not
If he
literally.
wanted to do that, he wouldn't feed us. He'd just do it.
Not literally. I mean his offer. I don't want to become an ant marching to my death, following the will of something that I don't understand. I understand that we still have our autonomy, but we Fae are meant to be careful of the ills.
Lessla crosses her fingers as she thinks on, chooses words, and says, "The problem is that by not taking this offer, there's a chance that we blind ourselves to information that we desire. And if we are to work as adventurers in Waterdeep, we will be doing deeds for the public safety regardless. What I find this offer will more than likely do is give us greater rewards, as well as a greater amount of influence in which to find the information we seek."
It is not my decision to make.
I believe that this decision is that of individuals. I, for one, do plan on taking him up on his offer. Secret societies have been proven in the past to allow for nobles to climb up their hierarchy. Even if I'm the only one of the Silver Empire in this society that Blackstaff has formed. The Lord's Alliance is a very powerful ally.
I personally still need time to think and decide myself.
Sorry, my Discord fully crashed.
Oh, I didn't think we saw you leave.
Jeez, what is this Discord? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm going to shoot you.
Sorry,
You said that in such
the funny little gremlin that lives in my brain accidentally disconnected for a moment.
Well, then if this is something that all must decide on in your own time, I suggest that we finish our meal and continue on to do what we had already planned.
Right.
Corvus will wait for cheese.
Is everyone going to finish eating, or?
Yeah, Corvus finishes his drink.
Okay. All right. It's very strong, Corvus.
Yeah, stuff. He only usually gets this stuff whenever he gets a particularly nice cut of meat. Is that in? Dwarven inns are great. Very homely.
Yeah.
Good, honest pay for
I'll
honest
point out
work.
that the flask there for a dwarf, that's like a single portion. For you all, that's like, yeah,
10.
For all of us.
or more. Yeah.
Imagine any's been in that has a dwarf. They look at the beard and think he can drink, and it's like, well, it just takes enough to feel warm, but that's about it.
It is a well-known fact that a dwarf respects a beard.
Yeah. It's a useful fact when you're trying to do deals with them.
Mm-hmm.
If only you had a good charisma.
I'm a little better now.
They care little for charisma. They care more for deeds.
You got for us slams elk on the table. Fair enough. But he doesn't slam it. He has the boy to slam it because he doesn't have enough strength to lift it.
Alright, well.
I will say after a while, after Cheese said her fungus piece, she just like stood up and started pacing the room and kind of poking around.
It's a fairly empty room otherwise, truthfully. There's a mirror,
She's
and there's like an alchemy table, but there's nothing on it at the moment.
She looks at herself in the mirror for a bit.
You lick
Just
the alchemy
studies.
table, magic might happen.
Don't tempt me. Yeah, Cheese looks in the mirror for a second and kind of gets lost in the reflection, and then goes back to walking the
Please
room.
roll me a perception check.
Oh no.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
25!
Of course.
So as you're about to turn away, your reflection winks at you.
Mm-hmm.
There's an audible squeak. She...
Lessla will, hearing that, will get up and walk over to Cheese and say, "Is everything alright?"
Cheese is now intently staring at herself in the mirror.
Lessla will look at the mirror. Do I see anything strange about it?
No?
Interesting.
Now you've got me curious.
I'm just gonna... How long are you gonna stare at the mirror, Cheese?
Until it does something again.
I'm gonna...
Oh, you're gonna be there for a long time.
Yeah, if that's the case, Lessla just pulls out her wizard's book, sighs, and casts it, and is ritual cat. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do anything else today. I'm
Cheese
just gonna...
will be there. Cheese will do that for like 2 minutes. She's
Okay.
investigating everything.
Yeah, I
And
don't
kind of...
don't think I'll need to cast another spell today. I have multiple spells now. I can just full on cast detect magic.
Yeah. As she's
Okay.
looking in her reflection, she is holding her neck.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie, you cast detect magic. It's just a normal mirror.
Interesting. Cheese, there's nothing. Why are you staring at this mirror?
I suppose I haven't looked in the mirror in a while.
Lessla raises an eyebrow because she knows you were staring into water to look at your own reflection not too long ago. And says, "Alright. See anything new?" Lessa will turn away from the mirror and say as well. I do need to begin preparations for the next 5 days, and there's only so much daylight left.
Do you require my assistance?
I do not believe I will. I think you had plans yourself. So I will allow you to follow those pursuits.
I shall find you in the evening.
Lessla nods and walks off. I need the
Cheese looks at
ability
her
to
reflection
innately cast
a little
Dimension
bit
Door.
After Lessla is no longer looking in the mirror, does she see anything else?
Nope.
Cheese stands straight and moves to kind of back towards where everyone is. Ready to leave.
Okay.
Possible. And is how close? I imagine he's mostly done now.
Oh, he's finished.
Yeah, I'll snap.
He's
the
now
bone
just
for him.
gnawing on the bone.
I'll snap the bone for him so he can swallow it too.
Aww.
But he's not so much gnawing trying to swallow it, he's just gnawing, enjoying chewing on it.
Right.
Probably very loudly, just nyang, 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 nyang.
So you snap it, then he can get to the marrow. And it's like real yummy in there.
He'll get there eventually.
That's true.
It keeps his teeth sharp, strong.
Lessla, as you're walking out, you get a little bit of a mental ping from Klaus. You get the image of the food, the image of Klaus lying on his back with a full stomach, the image of someone holding out very shiny coins. From what you're able to get with Klaus and the intent and part behind them, Klaus is attempting to say he does a very good job of bribing you with food.
Lessla chuckles and says, I am not so simple as to be fully dedicated to my own stomach, unlike a certain dragon I know.
He seems vaguely insulted by this.
He cannot deny the allegation.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, it's like I'm not denying it, but I'm not happy about it.
Well, you'll be happy about dinner, I suppose.
Klaus is anticipating some nice clams. He hasn't had them in some time.
Now I have to go to the docks to find a restaurant.
It is a port city, and most places sell them.
Mm-hmm.
They are not hard to find.
Alright. But yeah,
But
no.
with everyone leaving, I assume,
Yes.
that is where I think I will call it for tonight.
Alrighty.
Boo.
I'm gonna need to spend some time.
Alright, with that, we'll call it here for today. As always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are. And remember to stay frosty. For those of you watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And ring that notification bell to get more content like this in the future. And if you wish to support us or our artists, please view the links down in the description below.